Hello everybody, it's your girl Gingy here, and welcome to my channel Ginger Books, or welcome back if you're continuing watcher or subscriber. And of course, if you're new here, hello, my name's Erica, aka. So today I'm kind of bringing you a little bit of a different version of what the beginning videos look like on my channel for each month, which is usually just a wrap-up / reading plans for the month. Books that I'm kind of excited to get to. Usually I do not do set TBRs because I am a mood reader and my reading tastes change with my mood. So it's usually just wrap-ups. I decided to do something a little bit fun and spontaneous because I kind of want to do that on this channel. And today we are bringing you actually a review of the 3 recent books I have read, which is part of a trilogy, as well as we are going to be obviously talking about 2024 reading / channel goals and my bullet journal setup. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So of course, the first part of this video or title that you saw is my thoughts on the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy by Stephanie Garber. And we're going to go in order, and this is going to be brief and short. It's not going to be an in-depth review. It's just going to be what I liked about the book and then my star rating. So, Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber is the first book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, where we meet our main character, Evangeline, who is looking for her happily ever after. And so she feels like it was stolen from her by her stepsister. So she goes into the opening scene of going to the Prince of Hearts' chapel and wishing for her happily ever after, and the boy that she thought she truly loved, to get him back, because she feels like there's a curse put upon him, and that's where she meets the Prince of Hearts, aka Jax. And that's where all of their adventures start throughout the whole trilogy. And so I give this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I loved it. However, it did take me about half of the way through the book to get into it, because it just felt like the book was completely all over the place at the beginning of it, and I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of confused. Maybe it's just I was busy trying to read this book, but I can tell you right now, hitting the halfway point, I finally got fully invested because it felt like I could grab onto something and ran with it. Like, finally, for me. So that's why I got a 4 out of 5. Plus, I wasn't 100% sure if I liked the format of the book, which is definitely feels like you are plopped down into like a Brothers Grimm or a Hans Christian's fairy tale, and it's definitely that kind of style and format, and I didn't know if I liked that. I can tell you right now, still kind of don't really like it. Definitely felt really kiddish to me, but it might be just because, the reigning champion behind me, Sarah J. Maas, I've been reading a lot of that kind of very complex writing, world building type books, and that's what I really love. So I would say this is definitely for somebody, and it would have been easily a 5 out of 5 if I was looking for something that I didn't have to really dive into, but it still gave me enough of the complexity of the plot and storyline that kept me invested. So that's why it's a 4 out of 5. Now, the second book of the series is A Curse for True Love. And sorry, I did not take the Target stickers off of these. No. I'm sorry, out of order. A Ballad of Never After is the second book of the trilogy. And this, again, trying to be not spoil you guys. We definitely pop back in where the first book left off, and just even more confused. And the spice was starting to pick up in our romance between 2 characters. But it's definitely a lot more adventurous, and you see our 2 main characters kind of start growing more together. And we start diving deep more into Jax's backstory and why he became a fate and why he is cursed. So definitely interesting, and that whole ending, definitely mind blown. Still a 4 out of 5 for me because, again, it was 150 pages at the beginning of Evangeline just being so stubborn, and the author really wanted us to know that she was a very stubborn girl and was going to try to solve it on her own, even though the author made it bluntly clear she was going to need Jax's help in doing some things and solving some things. And it's just like, oh my goodness, you could have just shortened this down to like 50 to 80 pages, not 150 pages. So come on. So that really kind of made it a 4 out of 5 stars again for me. The book that I was holding up before A Ballad of Never After, is the final installment and was released a month or so ago, A Curse for True Love, which is, I loved it. Still a 4 out of 5 because, again, before I get into that, I guess. So this takes up, obviously, after the second book, where, I don't know, where Evangeline now has no memory of what happened. And her beloved is going to try to keep it that way, which is her prince that she thought she was going to have a happily ever after with. And so we find Evangeline starting to regain her memories and, obviously, what is going to happen with Jax and everything. So, definitely interesting, definitely kept me gripped. However, what made it was only a 4 out of 5 stars for me again, because the ending just felt very underwhelming, and it just felt kind of chaotic. And I feel like the author was trying to use the trope of, you know, we think this is going to be the happily ever after, but hold on, pause, this is not, because something gets monkey wrenched again. I don't know if I like that. I don't feel like it was very well executed for me, in my opinion, so that is why it's a 4 out of 5. And I just felt like the ending was just very underwhelming. And maybe I was just waiting for more spicy content, but this was not that type of book. It was not a spicy content book. I don't know. That is my short review and synopsis and ratings of the Stephanie Garber trilogy. Is it going to be one of my favorite trilogies that I have read this year? Probably. It's definitely in the top 5. Really loved it and really enjoyed it, and I think it's cute. So now, on to the section of my 2024 reading journal, as well as my goals and plans for this year. So kind of stepping into it, we're going to pop in here into my reading journal. I was debating on not doing a reading journal, but I decided, you know what? I was liking really just keeping to 3-page, three page spreads per month, and it just felt like it was easier to keep track. So I decided, yes, I'm going to do it, and that's all I'm going to, I'm going to continue that format. So it's just easy. Try not to over-explain myself. So this is the beginning. I want to put more stickers here, but the theme, as you can see down here, I wrote Victorian/steampunk, because I really love those type of spreads and vibes. And I have other ideas for possibly 2025 being cottagecore. That was also in the running, but I decided to stick with these because I had the stickers. So we have, obviously reading 2024 and the stickers, and I will put more stickers here because I feel like it needs more. Now, disclaimer, I screwed up on the date. So I corrected in February spreads going forward, but you will see 2023 with a 3 marked out with a 4. So I do apologize. So the first spreads are my reading goals, which is the series to finish, as well as my 4 goals. I usually try to stick to 3 to 5 goals because I feel like any more than that, it just gets very chaotic. So I only have 4 this year. Technically 3 because read more is always going to be a goal. We're going to start with the series to finish. I have 4 that I really want to get to and also finish because I have been for a while, maybe almost a year, 2 years for some of them. And I just need to get to them and finish them. Number 1 is Throne of Glass, because obviously Sarah J. Maas, the queen herself, is one of my top 3 favorite authors, probably my number 1 favorite author right now of all time. And I have not read her first book series she released, which is Throne of Glass. I know, I'm a fake fan. It's fine. So that is my goal to finish this year. Don't know when I will, but it may be just when I have a very strong urge to read all the books in 1 month, that may happen. Now, number 2 is The Last Hours trilogy. Yes, Cassandra Clare is in my top 3 of favorite authors of all time, and I have not finished her Last Hours series, which is in one of my second favorite time period to learn of history and culture. And I have not finished it. So that's on my list this year. Number 3, the Crave series, which I started because I have all of the books, and I was like, I should really start this, and I actually was really enjoying it. It was kind of like my guilty pleasure, because it just reminded me of Twilight because of how cringy it is, but better because there's a lot more sassy banter that I wish, was in Twilight. So, loving it. So I need to finish that series before she releases any more books. And then number 4 is the Fourth Wing duology, because I know I need to get to that because I've been seeing a lot of mixed reviews of either people really love it or really hate or really dislike the duology. So I was like, you know what? I just need to read them and form my own opinion. So it is on my list, especially to do this year and read. So now we're moving on to the goals. So number 1 is always read more, obviously. Number 2 is my Goodreads goal, which is 14 books in 2024. I decided that I'm going to up it by 2 and find where my kind of plateau is for reading books, because I feel like if I decided to double it like some people have, I'm not going to be able to read 2 books in 1 month at some points, and there's going to be times where I'm going to be able to read 5 books in 1 month, like I did this year. So I just thought, 14 will be easy, I feel. So number 3 is read 30 minutes a day. I struggle a lot of where I'll read, and then I won't read for a week. Then I'll read, then I won't read for like a week or 2. So I figured, what would be a really good just de-stressor if I just find time to read 30 minutes per day. We may not start out doing that per day. Might only be 10 or 15 minutes, but we'll work up to that 30 minutes where I'm reading 30 minutes a day. And who knows, that 30 minutes can turn into 2 hours sometimes, like it does. And then the last goal is read out of your comfort zone 1 time per month. This means that I'm going to, and we'll go to my genre tracker for the year of the different genres that I want to read this year, or try to get out of my comfort zone, so I have options. So I usually tend to, as you see on my channel, read a lot of historic fiction or adult and YA fantasy, more towards the YA fantasy, supernatural romance on my channel. So I want to kind of broaden out more from that and try other genres. So that leads me to my genre tracker, which I actually got this inspiration from Mabel Reads. I will link their YouTube and Instagram down below. I actually found them on Instagram and loved that they kept track of genres, so I started doing that. And I enjoyed seeing all of these squares filled in for some of them, and some of them not so much. So it shows what genre I gravitate towards per year. So I love seeing that. Now you'll also see that I did scribble out romance because I accidentally put it there twice. My bad. So the genres on here I have are fantasy, historical fiction, romance, mystery, horror thriller, romance comedy, so rom-com, nonfiction, dystopian, dark romance, and contemporary. So the reason why, some of them you'll be surprised I did not have them on last year's. So dark romance, dystopian, and contemporary, those are kind of 3 I've gave myself options to dabble more in. I also like to dabble more into nonfiction because I do have a lot of like historical research books that are nonfiction that I would love to read and learn more. And then I also have my go-to, which is fantasy, historical fiction, romance. Romance being, putting supernatural romance in there, mystery romance, horror thriller also in there. So now my next spread before we get into January's is my books that I read. So I have my standard bookshelf here. I have more than 14 books here, just in case if I do read more. It does happen. There's some months where it's like a reading explosion and I cannot get enough of reading or books, So, and I did leave some space to put like stickers or draw in like, knickknacks that would go on a shelf, but I'm also going to leave them blank for now, just in case if I do want to add more books onto this, but we'll see. So this will also lead us into January spread, and I'm going to show you January and February's because I did do a page a little bit different going forward from February on. So kind of doing some just like purple, blue, light blue kind of themes. I love this sticker because this lady's dress is made out of books. Like, look at that. That is cute. So this is like my standard TBR page that I've been doing, but I spiced it up a little bit for February, so it's going to be a little different. But I did take this idea from Mabel Reads as well, that to color code your books to a highlighter that you're going to, or a pen you're going to use to fill in the bar graph. So you know which books you read and that you like devoured. So some of them may have like 2 days where I finished a book because I literally devoured it, and then started another one and how slow I might have read that one, which happened. So I color coded them, and obviously you're going to see for our TBR sneak peek, we are going to be reading House of Sky and Breath, so be looking for that vlog in January. To get ready to read House of Flame and Shadow, which is the third installment in the Crescent City series by Sarah J. Maas, which is coming out on January 30th. So excited for that. And we're also going to be reading Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, which I'll get to later. So, and then we have the pages read here. And then also to make sure that I am reading per day, I'm going to keep track of days read and how long I read, which is 5 to 10, 15, 20, and 25 plus. So our goal is obviously that 25 plus. Now here we have February, which I used stickers that kind of reminded me of February 2024. And this is also where I started putting the correct date. And so this is the page that I'm doing differently, where I'm going to use my sticker printer that I have. I need to be using that more to put the image of the books here. And obviously I have 2 here, but we could possibly get to 2 or 3 per month. I think that is doable for me on, my months that are not so chaotic. So we will see. And then of course my other spreads. So we're going to flip all the way to the back because I did all of my months already ahead of time. So I don't have any room for if I do readathons, they may just be inserts, or I'm just going to put it at the back, at the end of the bullet journal. But one of the fun things that we're going to do is a year-long reading challenge, which is, I saw this on, I want to say Instagram, which was the Canterbury Classics, because I started following them because I do have some of their copies that I got from Barnes & Noble. So we're going to do the Canterbury Classics 2024 Reading Challenge. And with my little sticker printer, and it's only in black and white, so I do apologize, I put all of the books, which one that we're supposed to read per month. So I'm going to go through them here quickly. We have Pride and Prejudice for January, so that's the reason why Pride and Prejudice was on January's TBR already. February, Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. Little Women for March by Louisa May Alcott. For April, The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. For May, Virginia Woolf's To the Lighthouse. June, Anne of Green Gables, which I did not have the author for that one. Oh, wow. Oopsie. Let me go to my phone for that one because I want to make sure I'm giving the author credit. So Anne of Green Gables by Lucy Maud Montgomery. July, Alice Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. August, The Secret Garden by Frances Burnett. I'm not going to say the middle name. I'm so sorry because I'm going to butcher it. September, The Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. October, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow by Washington Irving. November, Winnie the Pooh by A. Milne. December, A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. And to also kind of have fun and spice this up, most of these books are in movie format as well. So I'm going to read it and then watch the movie afterwards. And we are definitely going, one vlog per month is going to be reading these, because I think that would be kind of fun. And maybe we might take a break from, vlogging these Canterbury Classics. But I think that would be fun to at least start out and maybe do the first 3 months and see how it goes. That is my reading journal. Now, there are going to be a little bit changes to film scheduling on this channel, and it's going to be kind of in a weird format. So bear with me, and hopefully I explain this. But I am going to do what is called a quarterly trial for different techniques for uploading as well as scheduling and different videos on the channel. So that means is that for the first 3 months, January, February, and March, I am going to go down to just 2 fun bookish, one being the wrap up at the beginning of the month, 2 vlogs, and 1 kind of fun bookish video to put in there, or possibly Sims video like I meant to do. That has been kind of fillers if I need to 1 more week to film a vlog or anything. But I'm hoping if we do this format, the vlogs will be easier for me to film so that I can have 1 week to film, 1 week to edit, and then release a vlog. So I'm hoping with that format that it will be a lot easier for me to put out the vlogs and as well as be able to pay special attention to the vlogs, since that's kind of what I mostly want to do for reading on this channel. Plus, it is pretty popular right now. A lot of people are doing reading vlogs because, well, it's kind of hard to do a lot of original content when a lot of people have already done a lot of things. So, plus, I also know that reading vlogs are pretty popular on my channel right now. So we'll be doing that for the first 3 months, so let's see if I can get into the swing of it. If it feels like it's just still too much, we may go down to after March, go down to 1 reading vlog and do something else for the next 3 months. So that's what I meant by it's going to be quarterly trials with, videos, uploading, and all of that. But we will be sticking to Thursday uploads, if that makes sense. I am not going to do 2 uploads just because I know once, my work picks up again with the museum season, I'm only going to be able to do 1. So that is the goals and changes to my channel as well as my reading goals. I hope you guys loved this video. If you did and want to stick around for more, hit the subscribe button, that bell notification so you are notified. I do post every Thursdays with fun bookish content and 1 filler content of Sims. And also I want to say thank you so much for following in 2023. I know I've gained some new followers and I'm so excited for you guys to come along this journey with me. And also thank you to my followers who have been following me from day 1. It's really heartwarming and I hope we gain more people in 2024. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Again, thank you so much for following me in this journey, and I cannot wait for what 2024 is going to hold, and I hope everybody has a great start to their new year and are going to start smashing those goals like you want to in 2024, and wish you the best of luck. I hope everybody has a great rest of their week and a great start to the weekend, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!